Normally the words luxury and value, they just don't go together. They just don't jive. However, on today's video, we're going to put that to the test. This is the new Genesis GV70, and this is the 4-cylinder, the 2.5 liter turbo. And if you're looking for a luxury compact SUV, this one offers a lot of luxury and value. Let's take a look. Earlier on this year, we had a chance to test drive the all-new Genesis GV70. Make sure, click the link below if you haven't watched that video. That was a 3.3 liter turbocharged, top-of-the-line Sport Plus trim. It came in at about $75,000. And one thing that I said about that vehicle was it offered a lot of value. Actually, all Genesis products offer a lot of value. Well, this 2.5 liter that we're testing today offers even more value. By the way, make sure check with your local Genesis dealer or your Genesis website where you live, because the trim levels that I'm going to be talking about may differ from where the ones that you have where you live in Canada and the US. The trim levels are very similar. However, a lot of times they name them different. So today we are in the Advanced Plus. We have 4 trim levels. This is the third, the second from the top, basically. The top is the Prestige and the 2.5 liter. And then we have the Advanced, which is below, and we have the Select, which is the base. But one thing, they all offer a lot of standard equipment. So here's a recap of the GV70 if you're not familiar with this vehicle already. This is a compact luxury or premium SUV, and some of the competitors would be like the Mercedes GLC, the BMW X3, Audi Q5, and the Infiniti QX50. Size-wise, let's say they're very, very, very similar in size. This might be like, for instance, comparing to the BMW X3, it's a little bit wider. The wheelbase is a touch longer, but the interior dimensions are very, very similar, and they're pretty well similar across the board. So it's a pretty even playing field. Where this differs is the amount of standard equipment you get on this vehicle compared to some of its competitors where you'd have to pay extra or buy a package for it. Base model comes with 18-inch. All the other 2.5 liters come with 19-inch wheels. You also get standard quad LEDs in the front, LEDs in the back. Home link for your garage door openers in the mirror is standard. Also, the proximity key with push button start, that's also standard. One thing that I did mention on the previous review though is the sensors for the proximity key are only for the front doors. I'm really kind of disappointed with that. I really would like to see those in the back doors as well. Also, the hands-free power liftgate, standard across the board. All vehicles come with a standard 14.5-inch infotainment display that comes with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and comes with navigation as well. For your cluster wise, you have a standard 8-inch display. It's not until you get to the Sport Plus, the top of the line trim, that you get the 12.3-inch full digital display on here. One thing that is kind of odd though, this Advanced Plus comes with a blind spot monitor, meaning that you have cameras on either side on the mirrors, and when you turn your signal on, it'll actually show you the image from either side. Now on the digital display, it shows you on the left or right side, depending on which side you're turning. With this 8-inch display, since it's only on the right side, you get the same image right or left on the same side. It's kind of odd. It takes a little getting used to, but you do get that with this Advanced Plus. You also get heated seats and a heated steering wheel, and this vehicle comes with fingerprint authentication. So you can actually just scan your finger and it'll know who's driving, and it can adjust everything for you. That's a first in this industry. This Advanced Plus also includes ventilated front seats, heated rear seats. You get manual sunshades, a head-up display, surround view camera, and an 18-speaker Lexicon audio system. All right, before we get driving this 2.5 liter turbocharged engine, I have one quick question for you. Have you subscribed to Everyday Reviews? You haven't, have you? Some of you have, and for those that have, and always hit that like button and give me some great comments below, I really thank you for the support. But those of you haven't, that still enjoy the content, hey, consider hitting that subscribe button, because it doesn't cost you a single cent, and it just helps the channel out, helps it grow, helps me pay for some of the gas that we put into these vehicles. So consider that. Let's go for a drive. Not bad at all. What you are hearing under the hood is a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. It has class-leading 300 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. That's actually quite a bit more than its competitors for sure. Now, all GV70s come standard with all-wheel drive and with an 8-speed automatic transmission. This also has auto hold. We're at a light right now. Take my foot off the brake, and we do have several different drive modes. I'm going to put it into sport mode right now. The torque is really noticeable on here. One thing I like about the sport mode is the steering definitely has a little heavier feel, but it just feels a little more solid when you're in sport mode compared to comfort mode. It's a little bit vague, it feels. Here we go. Passing power is definitely adequate. In sport mode, I like how long it holds the gears, holds it longer. And when you're driving a little bit more aggressively or sportier, when you're braking, it proactively gears down for you. It's actually quite good, and it's comfortable. It's a very comfortable ride. And one thing you might notice here actually is how quiet it is. Like, we're right beside a big, huge transport truck. We're on a concrete road right now, so it's also very rough, and it's very, very quiet in here. Now, suspension-wise, it's not the smoothest ride. Even in comfort, it doesn't matter actually, because this does not have adaptive suspension. You have to go into the 3.3 Turbo Sport Plus trim to get that adaptive suspension. That one also comes not only with 21-inch wheels, but it comes with an electronic limited slip diff, and it also has 375 horsepower. But guess what? Don't discount the 300 horsepower. It's actually very, very good. One thing that comes standard as well on the GV70s is the highway driving assistant. So it's your radar cruise. It can actually keep you in the lane, and on all the Hyundai products that I've driven, it works very, very well, and it works for a long time. You can go for a couple minutes at a time without having to touch the wheel if you happen to be doing that, or in bumper to bumper traffic, rush hour traffic, you can basically go indefinitely a lot of times. So as you can see here, I'm hands-free. I'm not operating the throttle or the brake. Now, one thing I've noticed on this particular GV70, I didn't notice it on the 3.3. I'm not sure if you can see the steering wheel on it, but we're actually kind of bouncing a little bit. It's making too many corrections, it seems, and I have not noticed it on any other similar Hyundai products or Genesis products. So perhaps this one may need a little bit of calibration. Probably something they can do in a flasher software. So I did notice that for sure. Fuel-wise, it is recommended that you use premium fuel for this vehicle, and in our real-world testing, and I've been driving it kind of hard though, we are averaging about 13 liters per 100 kilometers. So not the greatest for a 4-cylinder, but you have to remember this does have 300 horsepower though. So let's talk a little bit more about value on the GV70. The 2.5-liter turbo starts at just 49,000 Canadian dollars. If you compare that to the competitors and you take into account how many standard features that this has, it's actually quite a bit less than the competitors. Plus it has more horsepower as well. Also, with Genesis in Canada, you get 5 years of scheduled maintenance included, and that includes valet courtesy car service. So they'll come to your house, they'll pick up your vehicle, they'll leave you a vehicle, they'll do the service, and it doesn't cost you a single cent. That's a big plus for the cost of ownership, or if you're leasing this vehicle. In the US, you have a very similar program. I believe it's 3 years instead of 5 years though. This Advance Plus comes in at $59,000, so $10,000 more. If you want maximum value and features in a GV70, I would recommend in Canada to go for the Advanced trim. It's $55,000. It's just one above the base level, so it's $6,000 more, but for that $6,000, you get a lot. First of all, you get leather seats, you get ventilated front seats, heated rear seats, you get a power tilt and telescopic steering wheel, tri-zone climate control, 19-inch wheels, you get it all. The one thing you do not get, however, is you do not get that surround camera, the 360 camera. You can only get that if you go for the Advance Plus, which is $59,000. That's what we're driving here. So that's an extra $4,000. I could probably live without that camera for $4 grand. Otherwise, the Advance comes with pretty well everything that I would actually really want. So would I recommend a GV70 for someone looking for a compact premium SUV? Absolutely. Genesis has come so far. They've won a lot of fans over, including my wife Cynthia. You know, a couple of years ago, she would never even give a Korean manufacturer the time of day. She was really a kind of a badge snob. She liked her German vehicles. You know what? In the last couple of years, she has been won over by Genesis in general. In her eyes, she would love to have a Genesis GV80. She's went from a BMW girl to a Genesis girl. That's pretty amazing. But yeah, the fit and finish is it's incredible. I didn't even mention the leather they use in here. I don't know what treatment they do with this leather, especially the steering wheel. This is what you hold on to. This is what you touch the most in your vehicle. It is so soft and supple, and I basically feel like I want to wear this steering wheel. It's really, really good. It's so quiet in here. It's just, everything looks so good. And here's a truth story. When we picked this vehicle up, both Cynthia and I just dropped off the BMW Alpina XB7. That's a $180,000 SUV, and that review is coming out soon. It is a gorgeous vehicle. It is, yeah. If money was no object, I'd be buying that vehicle. It's just awesome for a family vehicle too. It's just full luxury and performance. However, you'd think going from a $180,000 SUV into a $50,000 one, there'd be almost a little bit of a shock factor. It wasn't that much at all, and that's exactly what Cynthia said too. She got in here, she's like, you know what, I don't even feel like, sometimes, you know, when you're going from a real high-end vehicle like that into a regular down-to-earth priced vehicle, you're like, oh, well, what am I in, whatever. Not this. So true story. Anyways, if you're interested in a compact premium SUV, have a look at the GV70. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Like I said, it's free. See you in the next everyday review. Cheers.